chance as it is, I happen to be the man that fell into the crosshairs of circuit bending history due to that accidental short circuit in my desk drawer back in about 1967, the summer of love, when I fell in love with two things: a beautiful girl, Vicky, and a rather unattractive circuit that stayed with me until this day, and I will be electrocuting people with it, including you, if you want me to.
Hell yeah! And that is the wavelength.
My real first name is Kubais. I am of Iraqi descent, Baghdad, and my real last name is Ghazala. And Reed was stuck in the middle so that people could sort of come up for air, I think, in the middle of that name. Kubais Reed Ghazala is my given name, but they thought it would be kinder to call me Reed in grade school. They thought I would be up to less ridicule, I suppose, if I became known as Reed rather than Kubais. Yeah, Q-base software. No, I mean, Quabas is a French soup. Kubais is me. I make soup. I make a damn good soup. The Incanter has become, I think because of its varied output, the fact that it is it's a bottomless well of chance music. When you flip the loop switch, you actually have the opportunity to find a new audio sequence just about every time. Some will be similar, but I'll tell you, I bent the first Speak and Spell that came out in 1978, and I have been bending and playing them ever since. You do the math. I'm not good at math. I don't know. Been many years. I can still pick up an Incanter and find phrases through looping and streaming that I haven't heard before. And to me, I mean, I once spent, I don't even know how much it was, $2,000 or $3,000, I think, on the Paya P4700J, which was a polyphonic computer-controlled synthesizer, one of the first available to the public, but you had to build it yourself. No problem there. It was fun to build. But you know, when I think about the pseudo-random routines that come out of the P4700J, as nice as they sounded, they were still pseudo-random. And if you listen carefully, you could sort of get the idea of things repeating and surfaced themes and this kind of thing. Whereas with an Incanter, I find the quick interface, the immediate interface. You can sit it in your lap like it's a magic music box, you know, and it can entertain and, at least with me, keep me amazed in a way that traditional instruments don't. The idea of where the Incanter sits in the field of circuit bending, you know, it's one of the first instruments that I introduced. It's very available. A lot were produced by Texas Instruments, and so it has become a common target for these different reasons within the field. It is sort of the cornerstone for many people. Many people begin their exploration in circuit bending with the Incanter. I'm very happy about that because the Incanter has output that truly is fantastic. It's delicate, articulate, and extremely varied in what it can do through speed control, through streaming, through looping. And circuit bending, it is quite easy. We're not dealing with SMD, surface mount devices, really tiny devices. This is before that era. So the actual contact points that you solder to are accessible. They're large. They're easy. There is no problem circuit bending an Incanter. So it has become the learning machine for many people, and after that, for a while at least, their chief compositional tool. So if we can combine musical output with the understanding and explosion of technology, then we have a way to do it and a way to appreciate it, to listen to it all at once, and the Incanter has definitely done that. It's one of the reasons that I think Texas Instruments is okay with the idea of everyone repurposing the circuit. One of the representatives of TI, a nice lady who I wish I learned her name. I never did. I only heard that she commented on this. And her comment was, if people are enjoying doing this, the more the merrier. Something along those lines, which is really a very nice, I think, a rare attitude from industry. Well, because it spoke. You know, up till that point, we were dealing with blips and beeps and little toys that made odd little electronic oscillator noises. But, you know, the buzz of now there's something that's going to talk to us, an educational toy, a circuit that can talk. You know, in the mid-1970s, this was quite something. It was quite the rage. So I had circuit bent quite a few things by then. Of course, my experience started more than 10 years prior to the introduction of the TI series. So I was aware of the fact that technology was about to bring synthetic human speech to the consumer. My first thought, of course, was what will happen to this talking device if we realign its synapse? Will it be like us if our synapse is realigned? I couldn't wait. I mean, I couldn't wait. I went and spent a lot of money, whatever that thing cost. I forget. It was expensive when it was first introduced. I immediately took it apart, short-circuited it, chance bent it as always, and I was so inspired by the sounds that came out of it that I wanted to keep working with it and working with it and working with it, and I did, and I drained my first set of 4 C cells. 4 C cells together equals 6 volts, and I grabbed my 6-volt transformer, my adapter, plugged it into the wall, and thought, well, I'm going to power it off this so I can keep working. What I hadn't realized is that by mistake, I plugged in a 12-volt instead of a 6-volt transformer, and I blew a little transistor right in half. It was a beautiful little blue flash, and off to my right, I heard one half of the transistor hit the window in a beautiful little ding kind of sound like that. And I thought, boy, this is really a dangerous little weapon if you overpower it, because it was a little projectile, you know, that flew out of the thing. I don't want to scare people, you know, is circuit bending going to make something explode? People do wonder about that. You know, in my 40 years, or more than that now, I guess, of circuit bending, that is the only time that something like that happened, and it happened because of my stupid mistake. A very important aspect of society is that we take it in our hands and that we consider futures to be malleable, and we must shape them ourselves. So when we circuit bend, or when we bring a group of like minds together, futurists after all, what we're doing is we're toying with the idea of now and pushing it forward into then. And that then is tomorrow, and I think we're all hoping to shape a better tomorrow.
Yes, it works. I'm so happy.